Welcome to the annual Campus Compact Programming and Resources Outlook. I'm Bobby Lauer, and I have the honor of serving as Campus Compact's president. We are so excited to have you here for what is going to be a jam-packed hour. We have been quite busy clarifying our goals and priorities to best serve our members and pursue our vision, a world in which all of higher education commits to advancing an equitable, accessible, and just democracy, where colleges and universities serve as responsive and transformative agents of change, with students, faculty, staff, and administrators joining as true partners with communities in contributing to our collective flourishing. Our new strategic plan offers a roadmap for how we can begin to achieve this vision, to support, engage, and challenge higher education to realize its public's purpose, empowering you and everyone on your campus community to continue your great work, advancing your civic mission, and partnering with communities to address complex social issues and further equity, justice, and prosperity for all. This new plan and vision are grounded in the realities of today's environment. We know that civic and community engagement has advanced greatly since Compact's founding nearly 40 years ago in 1985. What was emerging then has evolved into a well-established field, with many colleges and universities equipped with infrastructures and missions to support civic education, community-based teaching and learning, engage scholarship and research, anchor strategies, and deep campus community partnerships. Despite the progress we have made, there are still critical challenges that our sector must address. These challenges include declining public confidence in higher education, compounding crises of increasing poverty, global and local conflict, social injustice, racism, climate change, and mental health. The polarization that has characterized our politics and discourse has led to deeper divides across our campus and community spaces. Higher education has seen an increase in political attacks and intrusion that limit academic freedom, learning, DEI, and our collective capacity to serve all students and create the equitable and thriving communities we seek. We are still reckoning with higher education's own legacy, including the ripple effects of harm caused by our histories of displacement and physical expansion, exclusion, and perpetuation of inequities. We also know that colleges and universities that embrace their public purpose, that leverage their institutional power and resources to holistically contribute to change that benefits and partners with communities and students, promotes equity and justice, and strengthens our democracy. We are well equipped to address these challenges. And thus, Campus Compact, we're organizing ourselves and our work to address these challenges and support you in this critical moment. We're going to be doing this in some very familiar ways and also some new ones. We'll be organizing across 6 key areas. These are reflected as themes across today's event, so they're going to get familiar with you. And they're the building blocks that we're going to use in the next couple years. They include engaging with members and strengthening your ability to engage with Campus Compact and one another, centering student voice and leadership, facilitating professional development for community-engaged faculty and staff, advancing knowledge creation and informing the field of civic and community engagement, storytelling about the impact and value of higher education, civic, and community engagement in our communities and advocating for critical resources, and building capacity for institutions to tackle complex challenges. We've been growing our team to ensure we are prepared to deliver on this plan, and today we are almost 40 members strong. We have staff located all across the country. These incredible individuals have deep expertise across so many areas, from climate change to community college engagement, to equity and inclusion, and bridging and civil discourse, just to name a few. It is truly an honor to work alongside of each of them every day. Our Campus Compact board is made up of 17 exceptional leaders that span every sector of higher education. These committed presidents and leaders are driving us forward, and I am thankful for their unwavering support and commitment to Campus Compact's mission. Today's webinar will be dynamic. We may leave you a bit exhausted, or maybe better stated, overwhelmed by excitement. but we're going to be packing a lot into this hour, and we're going to use every minute to share as much as possible. But also know that we are going to be following up with you to make sure you have all of the information you need to act on the opportunities you hear about today. This is just a preview. We're going to go ahead and get started. And first up, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie Fox, Campus Compact's Director of Member Engagement.
Thank you, Bobby. Hello, all. My name is Carrie Fox, and I'm happy to join you today for my first Outlook since joining Campus Compact back in January. The member engagement team is excited to partner with prospective members in order to make the case to campus stakeholders about the myriad ways that a Campus Compact membership can enable and support their public purposes. We know there are a number of you on the call with us today, and we hope this is the first of many times you'll join us throughout the year. We're equally excited to partner with current members to ensure that you have the information, resources, and tools you need in order to get the most out of your institutional membership, including robust opportunities to learn from and with each other in pursuit of our shared goals. Throughout today's Outlook, you'll hear about lots of ways that members can get engaged this year, and I'm eager to share or preview a few of those right now. First up, we have Campus Champions. And in order to help member institutions get the most out of their memberships, this year we're inviting you to identify a campus champion as part of the renewal process. Champions will take the lead on engaging their campus in the Compact network and will serve as a primary point of contact between their campus and Campus Compact. They'll receive specialized communications, tools to help them promote Campus Compact programs and services, and other specialized engagement opportunities as well. Next up, we have affinity networks. Affinity networks bring members together around shared interests to advance common priorities. I'm excited to announce that we're building off the sold-out affordable housing learning community last year and launching a new affordable housing affinity network. The network will be led by a network fellow, and major activities will include regular webinars featuring leading experts, an active listserv to support peer-to-peer exchange and dialogue, and coaching salons for network members to get direct feedback and support on the work they are advancing at their institutions. We're also continuing to strengthen existing networks, including Truckin' for our Research One institutions, community colleges, and rural serving institutions. Truckin' will feature sustained conversation groups, a member showcase at Tulane, peer-to-peer coaching, virtual lightning sessions, and an annual meeting, which will take place before Compact 25 in Atlanta. This year, the Community Colleges Network is prioritizing member connections. We're onboarding a new network fellow to support this work, including quarterly webinars, an in-person meetup at Compact 25, and new member leadership opportunities that will be announced later this year. And last but not least, the Rural Engagement Network is launching a new listserv and knowledge hub later this year. We'll also be hosting quarterly webinars on topics ranging from rural anchor institutions to asset-based rural community engagement. So I encourage you all to stay tuned for more information from us about these opportunities. Another way to get engaged are our communities of practice. Communities of practice are spaces where members support and learn from one another by digging deeper into areas of engagement practice. And this year, we're rolling out several communities that I'm excited to preview for you today. The mentorship community will discuss how we create mentor programs, relationships, and processes that are intentional, practical, and meaningful, rather than just a minimal requirement. Our bridge building community will focus on implementing and scaling better discourse across campuses by highlighting how you can use existing resources, including national and local service providers, to augment the work that you're already doing. And finally, the BIPOC community of care is a place for BIPOC identifying community engagement professionals to come together and to support one another during these challenging times. So as we continue to evolve as a national organization, we are committed to fostering member leadership, ensuring there are opportunities for our members to grow, learn, and to be highlighted as the pillars of the profession that you all are. There'll be lots of ways for you to get involved, so listen closely as we continue with the Outlook today. And finally, I encourage folks from our non-member institutions to listen deeply to the ways that your institution can engage with Campus Compact. And I invite you to reach out to me at membership@compact.org or to attend an upcoming open house to learn more about how an institutional membership can support your work and your public mission. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm happy to introduce Will Brummett, who's our Director of Student Engagement.
Thanks, Carrie. Hi, y'all. At Campus Compact, we're excited and we're committed to champion students as not only the leaders of tomorrow, but also as the leaders of today. We try to do this by fostering their sense of agency, deepening their commitment to social responsibility, and contributing to their academic and career success. And this year, we're excited to be centering student voice and leadership in all of our initiatives. First, I want to tell you about some of our student-led voting initiatives for this fall. With the upcoming election season and students organizing nationwide to get out the vote, we're introducing 3 key resources this fall. First, we're going to be sending out a special Common Cause newsletter on Tuesday, September 17th, as part of National Voter Registration Day. And this newsletter will be featuring multiple student perspectives on the upcoming election and the ways that they are getting involved this fall. Second, alongside the newsletter, we're happy to be launching a voting collection hub on our website. This online resource will answer common election questions and direct you to some of our national partners' resources on voter registration, voter education, and voter turnout. And finally, we're going to be hosting 3 special virtual events this semester. As part of National Voter Education Week, we're hosting a coalition conversation entitled Student Voices on Voting, How Students Are Approaching the Upcoming Election on Tuesday, October 8th from 4 to 5 p.m. This conversation is going to spotlight student leaders from 4 different states from across the country who are all organizing to get out the vote. We are also going to be partnering with the Democracy Initiative at the University of Maryland College Park to host a field resource webinar focusing on how colleges and universities can support community-engaged transition plans for state and locally elected officials. Finally, we're also going to be supporting our community engagement professionals with a webinar entitled Well-Being During Moments of High Tension. That's going to be facilitated by our new Well-Being Fellow, Dr. Wanda Cooper. Be on the lookout for more details in the coming weeks about all these exciting voting initiatives. In the continued spirit of student leadership, we're also thrilled to be entering the second phase of our Student Design Fellowship Program, which is a nationwide effort to develop Compact's vision for student-led civic leadership. First, I just want to personally thank the Lumina Foundation for funding this student-led visioning process. And second, I want to thank all the student design ambassadors who have championed this process, the hundreds of people who have filled out the survey, attended a conference focus group, followed us on social media, allowed us to learn from your research, or let us do a landscape analysis of your organization. The Student Design Fellows have been hard at work making meaning of their research over the last 7 months. And using a design thinking process, they've now identified 6 themes or areas that they are hearing from other students that they want us to explore further this fall. And you'll hear more about those themes in a little bit. The fellows currently are preparing a short report on their research that will be released later in October. They are then going to be seeking feedback on their findings from students across the country over the coming months. The end goal of this project is a new dynamic portfolio of nationwide student programs, partnerships, convenings, and resources that Campus Compact will create based on the Student Design Fellows' vision. Campus Compact student programming is expanding thanks to our student leaders' hard work and leadership. And we hope you can join us on the journey. You can contribute to shaping the student-led vision in 2 ways. First, sign up to be a student design ambassador yourself and lead a campus focus group or distribute a survey as we dive deeper into these themes. And second, promote one of our 4 nationwide focus groups for students. The dates and times will be shared with you in the future follow-up messages. Now, as I mentioned the themes earlier, let's hear directly from our Student Design Fellows about their exciting work and the themes they discovered. And after they're finished, my wonderful colleague, Morgan Goodwin, our Student Engagement Coordinator, will be also telling you about the exciting changes happening in our Newman Civic Fellowship Program.
My name is Cynthia.
My name is Sonai Alamdari.
My name is Jessica Crockett Murphy, and I have the honor of being one of the Student Design Fellows working with Campus Compact.
The 7 of us came together to be more civically engaged and talk about civic engagement on campus and how we can encourage the student population to also be involved in this.
The Student Design Fellows has been this amazing cohort of about 7 college students from across the country working together to see how we can reimagine and redesign the student leadership training and resources that are provided by Campus Compact.
Our work so far has included 250 plus survey responses, 100 plus organizations in our landscape analysis, 50 national studies on student civic engagement, and monthly conferences across the country from Colorado to Ohio to Texas. From this learning, we found 6 main themes about what students have been wanting. First, making leadership just and accessible. Second, creating civic cultures of holistic care. Third, enhancing wraparound services for basic needs. Fourth, empowering student political advocacy. Fifth, reimagining and redefining outreach to student leaders. Sixth, cultivating internal relationships for students' belonging.
The time for student leadership is right now. We're not just talking about it, we're doing it. At Campus Compact, the solutions, the research, the work that we're doing, completely led by students of all different age groups and youth all the way to the age of 35.
Hello, everyone. I'm Morgan Goodwin, the Student Engagement Coordinator for Campus Compact, which means one of the best parts of my job is that I get to spend my time with our wonderful student leaders. I'm excited to share some updates on the Newman Civic Fellowship, a year-long program recognizing student leaders at Campus Compact member institutions for their commitment to public problem solving. The fellowship offers a unique opportunity for institutions to nominate a promising student leader who demonstrates a deep commitment to community engagement and social change. An important component of the fellowship involves campus and community members volunteering their time to mentor our fellows, and we're excited to announce a new mentor orientation and quarterly support gatherings to better equip and connect our wonderful campus and community mentors. These gatherings will provide resources and create a supportive community for our mentors as they guide our fellows on their leadership journey. We're also rolling out a new bi-weekly workshop and networking series for our fellows based on 6 new Newman Fellow learning outcomes developed in conjunction with our Student Engagement Research Fellow, Dr. Sana Hayan. Through data obtained from our fellows, we were able to better understand their needs and develop learning outcomes to help them thrive. For example, after participating in our program, 94.4% of students reported they now regularly challenge themselves to gather perspectives from different viewpoints. That's up from 79.5%. Additionally, 90.5% of students feel more knowledgeable about utilizing different approaches to addressing social issues, and 94.4% have grown in accepting mistakes as a part of their learning process. The learning outcomes we've developed, such as civic identity and agency, ethical and inclusive leadership, collective care and emotional intelligence, collaborative leadership, and positive change creation, reflect our excitement and commitment to meeting the evolving needs of our student leaders. These workshops will help students understand civic leadership, find their role in social change, and connect with peers while enhancing their academic, professional, leadership, and civic engagement skills. I'd also like to highlight the Newman Civic Fellows convening. The theme this year is "We are the ones we've been waiting for," creating connection, care, and change as leaders of today, working for a better tomorrow. The convening is being held November 14th through the 16th in Chicago, Illinois. This event is a fantastic opportunity for our cohort to bond, learn from experts, and engage in hands-on democratic learning. It's the highlight of the fellowship every year. And please check out the Student Impact Summer Series, which showcases an inspiring community change projects and the achievements of our fellows, with topics ranging from interfaith collaboration to supporting undocumented students. We are excited to offer this opportunity again this year through the mini grant program. Applications for our current fellows will launch on October 1st, and we encourage all of our Newman fellows to apply and make a difference in their community. We're also making some changes to the Newman Civic Fellowship application schedule to better align with the academic year. Applications for the next cohort will now be open in January and be due in April, giving institutions more time to select their nominees. We invite you all, university leadership, faculty, staff, family, friends, and nonprofit partners to continue supporting our fellows on their journey. Finally, I would like to give a special thanks to the Allstate Foundation, whose support makes all this possible, and for their continued support in amplifying the student voice and encouraging our students to be the leaders of today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you all to elevate the impact of our student leaders. Now I'll pass it along to Nicole Springer, our Senior Director of Professional Development and Scholarship and Chief Equity Officer.
Thank you, Morgan. Campus Compact is proud to continue its role as a professional home for folks connected to the work of community and civic engagement at the individual, institutional, and field levels. This year, I'd like to highlight two of our cohort programs with in-person components, as well as some of our virtual opportunities. I'll then hand it over to Emily Fopp, Campus Compact's Professional Development Manager, to tell you a lot more of what's going on. Our first signature program is the Engaged Scholars Initiative. This year-long cohort program is dedicated to bringing early career community engagement practitioners, professionals, and scholars together for content and connection. Our engaged scholars consistently affirm that their experience provided new connections and strengthened their identity as practitioner scholars. Historically, this initiative has focused on individual capacity building. This upcoming cohort will now support team involvement. Member institutions can now send up to 3 individuals to take part in this journey together. We are also excited to offer our Changemakers Retreat again in 2025. This intensive in-person leadership development experience is intended to help participants hone their skills, build community, and enrich their identities as current and aspiring boundary spanners, change makers, and campus leaders. Our third annual retreat will again be hosted by our amazing partners at Towson University. Campus Compact facilitators will join forces with leaders from Towson to provide individuals the chance to see equity-centered community engagement in action and come away with ways to advance civic and community engagement work on their campuses. So save June 23rd through 27th, 2025 on your calendars and look for applications to open in January. If you're interested in participating in either of these great opportunities, join me at one of the information sessions to learn more and to get your questions answered. We will also continue to offer professional development virtually. There are 2 opportunities that you should keep on your radar. The first is the pilot of a new intercultural development curriculum designed specifically for community engagement professionals and practitioners. Campus Compact's recent strategic plan outlined our mission to support, engage, and challenge higher education to realize its public purpose to address complex social issues and further equity, justice, and prosperity for all. We know that the ability to do that starts with doing our own work to better our own intercultural competence. Over the past year, I worked with Lisa Schwander, Associate Professor of Social Work at Central Michigan University, as our Intercultural Development Fellow to create a curriculum rooted in the tenets of cultural humility and tied to our mission and our commitment to using an evidence-based assessment tool, the Intercultural Development Inventory. She's continuing her work with us to co-lead the pilot of this curriculum, and we are seeking 20 participants to engage this curriculum to explore their own intercultural development as a cohort starting in January of 2025. Additionally, Campus Compact is continuing to invest in and expand our coalition conversations. These virtual, engaging conversations are opportunities for you to bring concerns to the national level. We are committed to providing a space for member voice and leadership and want you to step up and propose a topic. Here are 2 quick examples of people we are working with this year. The University of Nebraska-Omaha will be sharing more about their work in exposing the impacts of redlining and centralizing that in their community engagement work. Also, stay tuned for an exciting coalition conversation with folks from Grinnell College on leveraging the expertise of registrars focused on building an interdepartmental network to support community-engaged learning. I will now hand it over to Emily for even more information about our professional development offerings.
Thanks, Nicole. ESI, Changemakers, and the other offerings Nicole described are such great opportunities for our members to engage in professional development. In addition to these, I'm pleased to share several others that I think you'll find equally exciting. First, applications for our newest professional development program, the Mid-Career Learning Community, open next week. This program offers a unique cohort-based experience that is full of opportunities for collaboration, shared learning, and professional growth for mid-career community engagement professionals and community engaged faculty. The cohort will come together for an in-person kickoff event at Compact 25, then meet virtually throughout the year with guest speakers, team building, and sharing resources and experiences. If you've been in the field for over 8 years, but you're not yet in a senior leadership role, I hope you'll consider applying. Campus Compact has begun a redesign of our signature community engagement professional credential program. Following an in-depth needs assessment, our goal is to improve accessibility and increase opportunities for learning and growth. The updated credential program will serve as a professional development program that focuses on learning and growth rather than just demonstrating existing knowledge. As part of this, each credential focus area will feature modules to help practitioners build their skills and contribute to their eventual credentialing. The program will also aim to expand accessibility to be useful and relevant to a wider audience, including those new to the field, graduate students, and practitioners who aim to develop their skills. To contribute to the redesign of the credentialing program, Campus Compact has brought on an impressive team of fellows. Fellows will combine research conducted by the Community Engagement Professionals Competency Research Team with their own knowledge, experience, and expertise to develop modules for 5 competency areas to start. They include community engagement fundamentals, community partnerships, equity and inclusion, engaged learning and teaching, and engaged research. We plan to launch the new credential program at Compact 25 with the first participant cohort starting in July. Now I want to talk a little bit about Compact 25. As many of you know, Campus Compact hosts an annual conference that brings together engaged faculty, staff, students, senior leaders, and partners for 3 days of shared learning, networking, and connection. We were so excited to bring over 700 of you together for Compact 24 earlier this year, and we're even more excited to host our Compact 25 conference in Atlanta next March. The 2025 conference, which also celebrates 40 years of Campus Compact, centers the theme Uniting Through Public Purpose, Coalition Building for Impact. The call for proposals for Compact 25 is currently open. Check out our conference website for the list of key themes and session types. Proposals are due September 27th, so don't wait to get started. If you have questions, consider joining me for office hours later this month. Conference registration is currently open with our members-only early bird rate. That rate expires on September 16th, and registration will be open for everyone on September 17th. If you're a member, don't forget to register soon to lock in the best possible rate. Now I will welcome Nicole back to talk about knowledge creation at Campus Compact.
Thank you, Emily. In collaboration with others, Campus Compact advances evidence-based research and other scholarly works on new and innovative practices to inform the evolution of the field of civic and community engagement. One of those partnerships is with the Academy of Community Engaged Scholarship. Together, we have designed an initiative to help address wicked issues. This initiative takes a deep dive into some of the most critical issues threatening our communities and explores how we, as higher education community engagement professionals, practitioners, and scholars, can make a difference. Starting this year, we will jointly host a series of virtual events focused on a specific wicked issue. The 2024-2025 series will focus on gun violence and youth. With guidance and support from our fellow, Dr. Camille Williamson, we will generate resources, highlight promising examples, and create spaces for collaboration. Look for more information to come about how you can be a part of this process. We also continue to link research to practice in our partnerships and collaboration with community engagement journals. This year, we are pleased to continue our partnership with the Michigan Journal of Community Service Learning. In our commitment to bringing theory to practice, join us for another opportunity to meet the authors on September 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. During this Community Engaged Scholarship Revealed webinar, authors will talk about their writing process and provide examples of how community engagement professionals can use the research in their work. Additionally, we have started a new partnership with the Metropolitan Universities Journal hosted by the Coalition of Urban and Metropolitan Universities. Patrick Green, current editor-in-chief of the Metropolitan Universities Journal, Diane Doberneck, director of faculty and professional development at Michigan State University, and Laura Weaver, Campus Compact's own special projects manager, will lead a community of practice for editors of journals that are connected to the field of community and civic engagement. Using a collaborative field building approach, this group will address common issues, develop practical resources, and support each other as the field continues to evolve. We are also thrilled to continue our work in publications and connecting with Clayton Hurd as our publication lead and announce the upcoming publications of 2 books in 2025. These, as well as our other publications, can be found at the Campus Compact bookstore. First, Sean Crossland's book, Social Impact Pathways, Higher Education, Careers, and Public Good, which explores the pathways of public service and civic engagement framework and provides examples of their use across departmental, programmatic, and curricular approaches, will be published in early 2025. Next, Byron White proposes a community-centric orientation to higher education in his book, Engaging to Survive, a community-centric roadmap to higher education's future. Coming from a place of lived experience and supported by scholarship, he convened focus groups and engaged in conversations to make the case for moving toward this community-centric approach. Look for Byron's book in the fall of 2025. We are also currently working with Suchitra Guaraj and Brianna Davis-Johnson to develop an edited volume called Navigating Campus Community Relationships, How Colleges and Universities Engage with Demographic Change, which will highlight the work of community engagement professionals and community partners as the communities around them change and grow. The call for abstracts is out now, so look for more information coming soon. And if all of this has gotten you excited and you have an idea for a book that you would like to publish, we are always looking for new proposals from both new and established authors across the field of higher education. Our new call for proposals opens in mid-September, and priority review goes to proposals submitted by December 31st. I also want to take time to lift up the great work of the editors and authors of the Anti-Racist Community Engagement Principles and Practices book and remind you about the rich resources available to you. This group spent a considerable amount of time providing workshops and webinars connected to those principles, and that series is available on our website. If you haven't yet, please take some time to check out the digital companion. This material provides additional content connected to each chapter. My last big announcement around knowledge creation is our upcoming field benchmarking survey. I'd first like to thank Cinda Nichols from Carleton College for all of her work as our data fellow last year. Her hard work and your participation in focus groups and testing survey questions led to the creation of a survey that we will send out broadly to collect data for an in-depth analysis of campus, community, and civic engagement infrastructure. Look for that survey in March 2025 and spread the word. I'll now hand it back to Bobby.
Thanks, Nicole. Keep with us. We're about halfway through, or actually maybe a little bit more than that. The next area of focus that we're going to talk about is something relatively new for Campus Compact. It's what we're going to be doing in the areas of narrative change, storytelling, and advocacy. We're going to be putting serious resources and time behind our ability to work with you to boldly communicate the impact and value of civic and community engagement with the goal of increasing public trust and investment in higher education. We believe strongly that in these difficult times, when higher education is reimagining itself, we can and must center community engagement as the path forward. So how are we going to do this? We will be convening and supporting communications professionals and other storytellers from our campuses and communities and across our coalitions and networks and partners to share and galvanize around place-based and impact-driven stories of civic and community engagement. We're going to be investing resources and money in narrative change campaigns that reinforce the value at both local and national levels, and working with a rich set of partners and ecosystem providers to do that. We're also going to be promoting evidence-based research, much of what exists now and will be coming out in the coming years, that demonstrate the importance of civic and community engagement for student success, including college access and completion, career preparation, civic skills, and lifelong health and happiness. We are also deepening our presence and support in DC. We've been steadily working at this past year to support coalitions and open up new opportunities and doors to bring critical resources to our campuses to advance civic and community engagement. Right now, we're actively involved in fighting for AmeriCorps to have the necessary resources they need to be the strong partner with higher education to champion national service. We are excited to be a leading supporter of the Building Civic Bridges Act that has a cross-sector coalition making the case for federal support to advance bridge building and civil discourse, both within and across higher education. We're fighting for federal work study dollars. We're advocating to bring back and restore service learning and community-based teaching and learning resources that have been so critical to our field and institutions and students. And we're making the case that higher education is a powerful engine for addressing our country's biggest issues, from climate change to housing solutions for our most vulnerable populations, and that we should be and deserve to be working in partnership with federal agencies across the government as key partners and resources. Look for an update coming to your inboxes in the next 2 weeks on how to get involved in a number of these efforts. I also want to highlight a new President's Focused initiative, an exclusive opportunity for our member presence to attend Campus Compact's second annual President's Policy and Community Engagement Summit on March 3rd and 4th on Capitol Hill. During this summit, attendees will hear from and engage with congressional and administration leaders to help us map an impactful advocacy and action strategy for 2025 and beyond. I'm now going to turn to our work on building institutional capacity. And we're going to start by having Laura Weaver, Compact's Special Projects Manager, talk about our work related to bridging and civil discourse. And she'll also highlight a few other exciting initiatives we have underway.
Thanks, Bobby. Over the past 4 months, I have been fortunate enough to work with an amazing team of national dialogue and discourse experts as we launched our Scaling Discourse in Higher Education project with the generous support from the Arthur Vining Davis Foundation. Campus Compact has been long committed to the larger ethos of education for democracy, and our Scaling Discourse project, along with our commitment as a leading supporter of the Building Civic Bridges Act, are clear examples of this dedication. This focus on bridge building, dialogue, and discourse is especially important as we continue to experience hyperpolarization in our society and an increasing amount of public distrust and attacks on higher education. Through the Scaling Discourse project, we are focused on assisting colleges and universities in accessing effective and evidence-based bridge building, dialogue, and discourse tools, methods, and practices. We know that when students engage in high-quality evidence-based practices, they are more able to engage across differences, become more effective participants in our democracy, and navigate the challenging issues of our time. This summer, we released the first of many resources to come from the project, the Better Discourse Guide, developed by our team of experts. This guide shares ways colleges and universities can engage in respectful, informed, inclusive, and purposeful conversations, or what we like to refer to as better discourse. We will continue this work over the next 2 years with a small group of fellows to ultimately launch an interactive virtual platform open to all colleges and universities to aid faculty, staff, and administrators in finding the best resources to fit their unique bridge building, dialogue, and discourse needs. Our fellowship team will develop a self-assessment that will serve as the platform's backbone, while supporting users in assessing their needs, building their knowledge, and finding pathways to action. So be on the lookout for ways to engage with our team as we build out and release each component throughout the project. Opportunities include participating in surveys and focus groups to providing feedback as we pilot the new tools and technologies at upcoming conferences and during webinars. If your institution has a unique dialogue or discourse program, we want to hear about it. Click on the link in the chat to stay connected to the project and tell us about your campus's program. And remember to watch for more information about the upcoming community of practice that is going to be focused on implementing better discourse across your campus. Another project that I've been fortunate enough to work on is all about ensuring that your institution has the critical infrastructure to support community engagement. One way to do this is by leveraging more of your institution's federal work study dollars on community-based work through the Federal Community Service Work-Study Program. High on our list of priorities is making sure that colleges and universities have the tools they need, which is why, under the leadership of our fellow, Dr. Daniel Tomei of Rutgers Camden, we are excited to refresh our community federal work study resources. This refreshed toolkit will assist campuses in revising and reconceptualizing their federal work study approaches to better meet the needs of their students and communities. We expect to release this new resource in late spring or early summer 2025. But in the meantime, we'll pilot in-person gatherings that bring community engagement and financial aid professionals together to collaborate on ways to further incorporate community service federal work study opportunities for their students. Additionally, in collaboration with the National Museum and Center for Service, Campus Compact has a small but mighty group of campus leaders that have been working to design better ways for campuses to tell their stories of service, engagement, and impact, and to inspire others to take action in their communities. If you attended last year's national conference in Denver, you may have seen our first installation of campus exhibitions in advancement of civic and community engagement, as an example of how campuses might share their work with others on campus and beyond. Our team will release a toolkit in October and host a webinar on Tuesday, November 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to mark your calendars. The toolkit will have resources designed to help plan and execute your own exhibition and other related forms of storytelling. Our work group will release resources for campuses, and we'll be able to walk you through that process. Now, I'm going to pass it back to Bobby to share more about our larger institutional work.
Thanks, Lara. Hope no one's quite tired of me yet. I'm subbing in here to represent several of our staff members who couldn't be with us today. And I'm excited, as Lara mentioned, to talk about what we're doing to support systems change efforts. First, we are thrilled to share that we are going to be embarking on a new phase of civic action planning. Since 2016, hundreds of campuses have used Compact Civic Action Planning template and process to drive institutional change, planning, internal alignment, and resourcing. We're asked quite often, when will there be a CAP 2.0? And I'm thrilled to say that we're on it. Over the upcoming year, we're going to be embarking on two phases of civic action planning development. First, we're going to be reimagining and building new civic action planning tools and processes to support campuses in holistically actualizing that sustainable change. A lot has changed since 2016, to say the least. And we're going to be ensuring that the updated CAP reflects the realities and needs of today. We are not interested in duplicating any existing efforts, but rather building something that feels integrated, useful, and flexible for campuses in all contexts. We don't want anything that feels like a burden. Over time, our intention is to build a suite of go deep instructions that can work alongside the broader set of guidance that would focus on specific areas of civic and community engagement that each could be integrated into the broader CAP framework. Eventually, imagine us having a portfolio of go deep guidance in areas like community engaged research or anchor strategies and place-based partnerships. Civic action planning has always prioritized meeting campuses where they are. And this updated guidance and framework will center just that. So this year, in addition to updating the overall framework, we're also excited to be working with the CLDE Coalition to build out our first set of these Go Deep CAP instructions. With the support of the Endeavor Foundation, we'll be working alongside CLDE to build specific civic action planning guidance on expanding student participation in civic and democratic learning. This will be directly linked to the Every Student, Every Degree report that was just released last week and that you can access here in the chat. We will be issuing a competitive call for civic action planning fellows to support both of these efforts. That call will be coming to your inboxes within the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned and reach out if you're interested in learning more. We are going to be moving quickly, and we will have updated civic action planning guidance publicly available in April 2025, with our first set of training and support offered during the Compact 25 conference in Atlanta. Another reason to get registered today. Integrated and aligned to our civic action planning work is supporting campuses in fully understanding the depth and breadth of their existing democratic engagement. To that end, as you hopefully have already seen, we're working in partnership with AAC&U, More Perfect, UVA's Karsh Institute of Democracy, and experts at Stanford University and Johns Hopkins University to support a design team of 21 incredible higher education leaders from across the country who are working together right now to develop a comprehensive approach for campuses to inventory their own democratic engagement, civic learning, and democracy building research and practices. Early in 2025, we will release the inventorying framework and showcase how the tool can be used by institutions. This work is made possible thanks to a planning grant from the Lumina Foundation. Lastly, we want to celebrate the best work that is happening. And a key way that we do that is through the Campus Compact Impact Awards. The Impact Awards celebrate some of the best shining examples of meaningful, impactful civic and community engagement work happening on campuses, highlighting presidents, faculty, community engagement professionals, students, and programs that illustrate the positive impact higher education can have for the public good. We've made some exciting changes to the Impact Awards that create more opportunities for people and projects to be celebrated. This includes new awards for recognizing excellence in programming, community partnerships, and student leadership, plus a new way to nominate candidates for consideration in all of our awards. And now is a great time to nominate colleagues, students, programs, and partnerships. The deadline for nominations is October 1st, and full applications are due October 31st. And now I'll turn it over to Lindsay, our Director of National Service Operations and VISTA Programs, to talk about our national service work.
Thanks, Bobby. So something that we've seen in the past year and will continue to build on in 2025 is the power of national service working with higher education. It turns out that two key forces in developing young people's senses of civic and community engagement are even better when they work together. Compact has partnered with National Service since the beginning 30 years ago, and we'll be celebrating these 30 years later this week in Thursday on DC, where we'll gather on to both look back at what we've accomplished together and look to the future of what's next. As for what's currently happening with us, we have 3 active AmeriCorps programs. Through these programs, we anticipate enrolling close to 300 members in service on 60+ campuses in 24 states over the coming year. Members serve in full-time, part-time, and summer terms to leverage the power of higher education to address key climate needs, build pipelines to a stronger future for community college students, and expand and enhance the ways that higher education can service low-income folks both on and off campus. The College Renaissance Corps is expanding to 3 new states, Connecticut, North Carolina, and Illinois, where members on community college campuses will coach students and offer opportunities for them to understand how career pathways in key industries can lead to a strong future. Our VISTA program kicked off this summer, and we have 60 members, many of whom are here watching today, who are building the capacity for higher education to support low-income students and communities. We're going to be opening up our application process for next year in October, and there are some info sessions listed on our website if you're interested in getting involved in hosting a VISTA. There's also our Campus Climate Action Corps, which my colleague Sally, our CCAC program director, will talk about in a moment. So while we think that our AmeriCorps programs are great and encourage you to get involved with them, we also recognize that the reach of national service in higher education goes far beyond us, and it's important to us to facilitate that partnership wherever we can. One of the ways that we do this is with our Higher Education AmeriCorps Sponsor Network, which gathers quarterly. Our first meeting of the year is going to take place October 13th and is open to members and both non-members. So I encourage any of you who run AmeriCorps programs to attend. I'll turn it over to Sally now. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to tell you about the Campus Climate Action Corps, which provides a wonderful opportunity for higher education to engage your campuses and your students in climate action. For those of you who are not familiar with the Campus Climate Action Corps, it's a Campus Compact AmeriCorps program that serves to increase energy efficiency, ecosystem health, and environmental education in underserved communities through campus community partnerships. The Campus Climate Action Corps was actually launched in 2023 with 14 host sites in 3 different regions of the country. And we're really pleased to announce that this year we're expanding nationwide, and we anticipate having 18 host sites where small teams of AmeriCorps members will be placed to address climate change issues. In addition to our national program, we recently received a state-specific AmeriCorps grant in Connecticut and look forward to adding 8 host sites and 40 additional members in that state. We're also excited to announce that the Campus Climate Action Corps has been designated as an American Climate Corps implementation site. And as many of you may have heard, President Biden announced the new American Climate Corps in April of 2024 through an executive order, which is modeled after FDR's Civilian Conservation Corps. The American Climate Corps will put more than 20,000 young Americans, including many of our members, in service to address climate change while gaining the skills to join the growing green energy workforce of tomorrow. A sample of our project includes College of the Atlantic, which, as you can see from these photos here, our members were actually out on Great Cranberry Island off of the coast of Bar Harbor, Maine, where they helped to weatherize low-income homes on that island. So it was really an amazing day to be out there with them. We also have a number of resources. So in addition to our great projects, which are quite diverse, we do have some wonderful resources as well, such as a campus toolkit for campuses that really need added support in getting climate action work off the ground at their campus. And we also have a state energy efficiency manual for a number of our states that are resources that our campuses can use. And also during Earth Week, we have a wonderful opportunity to provide daily email alerts and sample actions that your campuses can take during that time. In terms of the benefits to campuses and how to become a Campus Climate Action Corps host site, some benefits are that we help to advance campus community partnerships to address pressing environmental issues. We deepen community engagement efforts. We advance skill building for students, especially around green skills building. There's also many benefits, including AmeriCorps living allowances and education awards, and we make a positive difference for the environment. So we really encourage you. We'd love to have you on board. So please do get in touch with me if you'd like to know more about the program. And we do have some upcoming information sessions that we'll be telling you about as well. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and turn things back to Bobby now.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And thank you to all of our presenters. We, as always, will be following up, not just with the recording, but as you heard today, there was about 1 million things that said you can sign up here, you can register here. All of those links are coming to you. So no need to go try to chase them down. We are so excited to be working with you this year. It's going to be a busy year for sure, but an incredibly important one. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.